credit to where credit's due after seeing something like that. It's like, yeah, they all helped me. They helped me make this vision become a reality. Because that's insane. That mug is a mini movie. A mini movie, dog. Okay, there's a lot of credits, though. And you can watch it on your own time. We're going to move on to the next track. We I, bye, bye, bye. A recommendation. I checked out a little bit of We I before, but I just haven't kept up with them. Alright. Look, he's got a floating cup of coffee. And apparently they're missing? They must be on their own little deserted island, but that's fully furnished. That's nice. That little riff with the piano. Nice. That was cool, the little drag back. All the metal detectors just surrounding them. Love that. Just sing bye 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 with the piano backing it up. It's just so gratifying to hear that. Am I so hard at him off the metal detector? Sorry. Looking so charming. Nice. Nice harmonies on that. Slick with the foot. Oh wow, We I actually does pretty well. 16 mil videos? I didn't know people liked him that much. Wow. Okay. Well, good job to y'all. Props to y'all. I'll hit the like. Just Be, Get Away. This is another track that got recommended to me to check out. So hopefully this is dope. Apparently they have some relation to BAP, which is interesting. All right. Nice and heavy with the guitars. Sing it now. All right. Guess we found the lower toned vocalists. The filtered vocals. Alright. I see y'all going hard. Even with the strings. Cool. Hey. Mm. Hold on. It says, oh. Did I get a request for the same thing or a different thing? I just got a comment on something. Alright. But the thing is, it's from the same group, so I'm just curious if this is the same exact song. Which it is. So we're watching the request right now. Oh, I did. Okay, did not expect to see actual breasts in this. So I don't know if I'd be able to show this on YouTube. Oh, and she is straight up naked. Okay, so we are going here now. Oh my goodness. She is all over this dude. And he is not having it. Alright. So now they're hopping in the car, but she has not put her clothes back on. They reconverted the convertible to get out of the rain. But it seems like the car is not starting. And they're arguing. Uh-oh. What's coming out of this grave? Oh, straight up bones. But the eyes are still there. So she just has kind of a shirt on. I guess this does fit the Night of the Living Dead kind of thing. I don't know if these are clips from an actual movie or if this is still for the music video or not. Oh, and now she's going around biting people as some kind of weird zombie-like chick. Because her skin is all white and her hair went red somehow. The song itself, though, was pretty dope. Definitely the music of the times, but it was enjoyable. It was a nice little vibe that you could just, hey, to, you know? So, yeah, cool. Sorry I couldn't show that whole MV. I just did not know that was gonna get so naked so quickly. Because that was a surprise. That was a surprise. So I'm leaving a comment on the comment on my YouTube video about me watching the video, and we'll see what they feel about it. We'll see if YouTube lets me keep the VOD. Lets me keep. It added the apostrophe. Sorry, I'm a bit of a grammar nerd. Keep the reaction on the VOD. Otherwise, it'll be on Twitch later. It's funny how I end up getting a comment while I'm watching it from the same dude, like, please react to this. I'm literally doing that right now. I saw your earlier comment. Why are you commenting twice? But it is what it is. People really want to see their faves get reacted to, and it may just be a bot. Who knows? I don't know. But I try to please when I can. And I guess I can't because it's not letting me post this. Did it get deleted or something? Did this post get deleted or something? Is that what happened? All right, there you go. I handled my business on the Oop Tubes, and now we can get back to the show on the road, which is now just kind of me going to watch a couple of things on my subscriptions that I need to watch that I think might interest you guys as well. Ooh, that might be interesting to watch, but I probably won't watch that here on the channel. I'm bringing it back to what I'm seeing. No, 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 no. All right, so let's see. I believe. Da-da-da-da. I can't wait to watch this. I like watching them. They're funny. Can't wait to watch this because learning more music theory stuff and crunching down all that stuff is very interesting to me. Also, this channel is really dope too. And I think I might watch a little bit about this.
Welcome, fellow artists, to Lyricology 101.
We'll see if we keep watching this.
Still don't have a tagline yet. What's going on, y'all? So we're doing a track review today. I wanted to do a reaction, but before I knew it, I started looking into the song deeper, and it low-key kind of turned into a review. So I'm looking forward to trying to do reactions in the future, but I don't know. I would prefer to just break it down for y'all. Yeah, J. Cole is really coming with that off-season energy on this track. I know he's using Drake's pipe-down instrumental for this one, but
yeah.
By the way, Certified Lover Boy is coming. Donda is coming. We breaking some tracks down.
Really?
Album review. Who knows?
Really?
But yeah, man.
That'll be
Cole
interesting.
This vibe on this track, and it really felt like it was his vibe, his song.
Yeah,
it
did.
Something about how J.
Very
Cole's
much
style
so.
works. He just knows exactly what to say in the perfect amount of time. This track isn't too long, isn't too short. It's right up the J. Cole alley. Real talk, I really wasn't a fan of J. Cole until the off season. So with the off season, it was like, yo, this is a version of Cole I've never seen before. Like, he was on a level, as he continues to grow, he's on a level I have not seen him on.
That's surprising that he didn't.
Track, to me, feels like a
that he didn't like him until then.
But yeah, without further ado, let's just get right into the track.
I liked Cole. I liked Cole ever since Born Sinner. Born Sinner is when I was on top. When I was like, yeah, this is good. But it took a while to get there. It did take a little while to get there. But there was still some missteps. For Your Eyes Only was not quite for me. There are tracks on there that I enjoyed, but majority of it I don't really return to. But let's see what he thinks of the song.
Cole sounds right at home. It sounds exactly like what Cole would do. His voice is perfect. His inflections are perfect.
Yeah.
He sounds excellent. I've always had this thing about how good J. Cole sounds. It doesn't change in this situation. My man's running the 5-syllable rhyme scheme all the way throughout the whole quatrain, man. But what we're hearing from his flow is he's running 8 syllables bracketed together. So it sounds really good when you put it together. He's got masses to tune your hearts from me. Niggas that grew up partially. I done eluded poverty. That's an 8-syllable swing for the cadence, but he's using a 5-syllable rhyme.
Indeed.
And, yeah, he bent partially and extended the syllables. He added another syllable to make everything match, but Cole did it in such a tasteful way, it doesn't sound or look bad. Also, Cole kind of stunted with rhyming in the first 2 bars and then going into a sub rhyme or like a separate rhyme, an internal rhyme for the 3rd bar, and then landing back on the original rhyme on that 4th bar. I'm hearing that he needs that
Great.
look, and it's like doubt is getting in the way. Despite his amazing growth, he's
Great
still
technique.
that sense of doubt.
Or has the money watered me down? That truth is hard for me. Like the second time I got cut from the junior varsity. Fighting back tears, I promise to switch gears. I said to myself, whatever you do, you won't do it partially. From this day forward, I move with a new ferocity. Ferrari coupe velocity, a fail-proof philosophy. Success is in the effort, so if a nigga tried his hardest, I'm at peace knowing God ain't dealing in this group of cars for me.
Damn, man. He's doing really elaborate stuff, but he makes this shit sound
easy.
He makes it sound easy. He's still running the 5-syllable scheme that he started at the beginning of the verse, and he's just gonna run it all the way through. He's almost feeling like his success is getting in the way of his progress, which is kind of crazy when you think about it. Cut from junior varsity gave me a visual of somebody that got cut from, I mean, it's junior varsity, it's not actually varsity, so he's feeling like he's not even playing for the highest team possible. Like he couldn't play in the big game. So he made a promise to himself to keep it 100. Like, for real, take it to the next level. He's not going to allow himself to be stifled. He wants to get to the next step.
Yeah.
So, of course, he's going to step into that Ferrari energy, which is what? Unbeatable drive. Knowing he can't lose with that 5. He's going to be successful no matter what he do.
And 3rd, they threw the bronze at me. Behind Drake and Dot, yeah, them niggas is
Superstars to me.
Maybe deep down, I'm afraid of my
Luminosity.
So when you see me on red carpets,
I'm moving awkwardly.
Still running off that 5-syllable rhyme scheme. Of course, he's using a different rhyme scheme, but he's still swinging off that 5 syllables.
Yep.
I mean, he's fine with being recognized with the greats like Kendrick and Drake. And essentially, he's saying, I respect them. They superstars to me. I look up to them. And maybe something inside of him is saying he doesn't feel comfortable with possibly being at that superstar status, while also ironically still being at that superstar status. And with that superstar status, you get that red carpet treatment. And apparently Cole don't fuck with that.
all nervous, afraid of the judgment, and the thought of showing too much of my
Day is repugnant.
I be keeping my kids away from the
Gaze of the public.
Cause these days it feel like haters they
Favorite subject.
fuck it.
Now he's running the 6-syllable rhyme with afraid of the judgment. It sounds perfect. The way Cole is rhyming, man, it's the end rhymes are almost bracketed perfectly on time with his cadence.
Yeah.
Compared to other rappers, they might hop around here and there. I feel like Cole is consistently keeping up with the rhyme scheme. Here and there, he'll try to trick you up and do a different kind of end rhyme, but pull back to the original. So
Yep.
he's not with the sharing his whole life on social media like most celebrity personalities or just most people in general. I think Cole don't mess with that. He might be afraid of the judgment, or maybe just people not understanding who he is. He's just trying to take care of his without having the whole world affect his children. So I understand. I wouldn't have my kids online either. Real talk. No kids yet though.
Two like a young O'Shea with an AK aimed at your brain, violating, I bust it. I don't play when it come to family, that's one thing I refuse. Pimping they kids out for views or just to be in the news.
All right, so we get a reference to O'Shea, right? Who's O'Shea? That's Ice Cube, right? So Ice Cube with the AK.
O'Shea,
O'Shea,
not Shea. Shea.
Classic Ice Cube album, and that's a West Coast album. And then he flips Violator and does a Busta Rhymes flip, so we get an East Coast classic. So we get this West and East Coast combination. I respect that Cole's not into this whole weird exploitation thing, this TikTok craze. The stuff that people do on the web for attention is just baffling.
In the celebrity T, God with me on this record, this is
Heaven's EP.
The tale's official, the best nigga breathing it just failed to hit you. You couldn't tell cause you fell
For the bells and whistles.
Damn, he makes it look easy, man. He makes this shit look easy. All right, so we got the 4-syllable rhyme at the end. He's gonna swing that whole thing. He has 2 different 4-syllable rhymes, but they all connect in that same cadence and rhythm. He ain't with the gossip or the games. He's all about that high frequency music. So when I think high frequency music, I'm thinking God's music, or he do be acting like he Jesus, man. But he's authentic with his. His tale is official. He's telling you the truth. So the story he's giving you is the true story. The bells and whistles are clearly the lies that were designed for these artists today.
I don't excel. I'm from the Ville where young girls talk grown as hell. It's raw. Never saw one person go to Yale, but every nigga that I know done gone to jail at least once. Proving we the ones police hunt for the pains. We smoke 3 blunts the size of tree trunks.
It's so real, man. Cole's expression of how he feels is so honest that you can feel it. You can feel this music and you can feel where Cole's coming from. That's why I really specifically roll with what he did on this track. So now we're down to 3-syllable rhymes at the end rhymes, which is weird because I noticed that he's kind of doing a decline of syllable count almost consistently. But yeah, we're down to 3 syllables, and then the next bracket of rhymes at the end is going to be 2 syllables. So pay attention to that. So we got 3-syllable rhymes in 2 different types of rhymes. I'll show it to you now. I saw Don't Excel as a double, so I felt like he was saying, he doesn't excel in being fake, but he also parallels it to coming from a place where people don't excel. And then we tap into that struggle that we see all the time. Brutalizing our people, keeping us in struggle. Nobody's going to college because shit, they can't afford it, they can't live. And Cole's just giving his perspective for his people.
Chungus, no wonder these niggas can't keep up. So saying yes to a feature just means I'm about to eat lunch, bitch. I'm going for it, no never shall he punt. I'm the one and you can be sure.
Speaking of beachfront,
I'm kicking my feet up while I write this in somewhere
tropical.
Supposed to be relaxing, this passion makes that
Impossible.
Let's go, man. So yeah, we got the 2-syllable swings in the first set of bars, and then he's gonna break and turn it into a 3-syllable rhyme with some 2-syllable internals in front. I'll give you them colors. He's so hungry. He's talking about his own hunger. There's too much hunger in the city he's from, and he's talking about himself. He's got too much hunger. So when it comes to getting a feature from another rapper, he about to eat off. He's going for the goal. He's going 100% for the touchdown. Ain't no punts happening. And then we go from this struggle from earlier in the verse to him concluding his verse at the beachfront. He's writing his bars right now, living this life. It's almost like the beginning of the song was he was tripping on himself, and at the end of the verse, he's like, yo, no, I'm here. I got this. I can handle this. So he's at a beachfront writing his bars on the beach because he's vacationing while doing this shit. He's living in that life. And that's it, man. Shout out to J. Cole. Seriously.
Yeah, that was a good little breakdown of how
I gotta cover off season some kind of way, whether it's a
how the raps or
one of them tracks, man. Without a doubt, I like 95
yeah.
South. That one to me, it feels like it needs to get a breakdown.
Yeah, 95 South is such a great intro track. Such a great intro track to that album too.
Songs or breakdown or whatever. I would consider this a song review. This isn't technically a breakdown, but we got more coming. Of course, Certified Lover Boy. Of course, Donda. And there's just been so many artists dropping, man. I can't let you guys down on this one. You guys that have been submitting songs, we still doing breakdowns live, and we're still doing breakdowns of your songs. So if you guys are interested in having your song broken down, feel free to contact me at lyricology101mail@gmail.com. Don't forget the mail. All right, so hit me up with the info, like, hey, I want the song broken down. Send me your song and your lyrics and a $20 PayPal donation, and your song will be covered as soon as Thursday. All right? So thank you guys for watching.
I still debate on whether I'm going to do that or not.
Please share. This is Lyricology 101. I'm Andre Gaynor.
Because word artists. But yeah, I still debate on whether or not to do that or not. Because I think it would be fun to just have somebody break down my bars. Like one of the songs that I think would be really cool to hear him break down would be would end up being one of my verses from For Real. I think that would be cool to hear him check that out. Also, there's like the very first verse of Go Ape. I think would be really dope to see how he breaks it down. Also, anything from All That Jazz would be fun to see him break down. There's a few different ones. I have a few. Even Floda would be really dope to see him break down too. I think Floda would be cool to see, just to see how other people like would be able to view one of my verses, because because the way he kind of breaks down, the way you saw him kind of break down the different rhyme schemes and stuff like that, and then like in other videos he also breaks down like the meanings of things too. I feel like he's like kind of on the same way of thinking that I am when it comes to the way I write raps. So I wonder if he would be able to pull out some of the things that I try to put in to each verse that I do, especially on verses like the ones I mentioned, because they're very technically written, and they also just have really interesting punchlines that are mixed in there as well. And I think that is super fun. Like, even being so like years removed from some of these songs, when I even go back to them now, I'm like, yo, I was like rapping, bro, and I still think about quitting. I know that sounds so egotistical, but hey, when you get when something is good, it's good, and you have to acknowledge that it's good. That's just how I feel. So, yeah, man. So I actually am gonna go and grab me some food real quick because the roommate's got some food ready. So I'm gonna go grab that. I'll be back, and then we'll check out some maybe Yai, or maybe we'll watch some news. I think we might watch some news. I think I might save the Yai for later, since Jack's Films is not really big on freebooting, which is almost basic, almost like. But anyway, while that is happening, I'm going to. Last time I played Queendom. This time I'll play some ITZY from the new album, and we're gonna start off with my favorite track, Swipe.
원하는 캐스팅 미안한데 내가 정중히 거절할게 처음엔 안 그러더니 갈수록 가섭이 늘어가나 자꾸 폰하네 나를 락건 어차피 말투가 뭐가 어때 뭐 네가 좋아하는 스타일이 1도 안 understand Rick 어디서 뭐하니 baby 핑핑 펼쳐지는 smackdown 날 다그칠수록 걸 I don't care So baby no don't call me no more I don't need that 지금 네 전화벨 You make me crazy 멈춰 right there Sorry next Swipe Me on the next Swipe Sorry but next 물론 난 내 앞자리 Baby hurry 거절해 cherry picking 날 바꾸려만 하니 Swipe Yeah to the next Sorry next 넌 해도 되고 나는 안 되는 게 뭐가 그렇게 많아 네가 없으면 안 될 거란 참신한 그 착각 온종일 진동에 날 흔들려는 vibe 제발 stop it please don't kill my vibe 단짝 친구가 뭐가 어때 뭐 걔가 원래 표정이 좀 차가운 걸 어떡해 ring 누굴 또 만나니 baby 틱틱 지원한 네 message 부재중일 테니 please give up baby Oh baby no don't call me no more 알던 일이 잠시 널 끄들게 You make me crazy 멈춰 right there Sorry next Swipe Me on the next Swipe Sorry but next 물론 난 내 앞자리 Baby hurry 거절해 cherry picking 날 바꾸려만 하니 Swipe Yeah to the next Swipe Let's go away 곁에서 끝으로 신속히 안에서 밖으로 철저히 물러서 제대로 더 멀리 Get out of my phone baby Sorry next Swipe Me on the next Swipe Sorry but next 지켜놔 너의 자리 Baby sit down 여기까지 우리 사이 Push it down 날 바꾸려나 honey Swipe Yeah to the next 오늘부터 you're only mine 사랑이 officially mine 말하면 어때 if I really like 확률로 봐도 이건 기정 맞아 Peter pattern 매수복진 하나인데 어떻게 다 설명이 돼 So
All right. I'm back. and we're gonna watch some news while I eat my burger, and then after that we'll probably try and go into some Final Fantasy because I've been holding off playing it, and I want to play it finally because it's been on my PlayStation for quite some time. So yeah, yeah, let's go. Let's watch some news
You
while I
beautiful
eat.
bastards, welcome back to the Philip DeFranco Show. And hey, hit that like button to help spread some common sense news coverage that's needed here on the YouTubes. And let's just jump into it. You know, first up today, one of the most requested stories. People have been asking about updates on the Gabby Petito case. Right now, the updates are a little bit all over the place. One, Dog the Bounty Hunter is reportedly now involved. Brian Laundrie's parents reportedly calling the police on him when he showed up to their home on Saturday to ask them questions. Dog saying that he decided to join the hunt. He wanted to ask the parents about Brian's possible whereabouts, telling news outlets that he went to their house first because he believed in second chances. And adding, the police said we were welcome to knock on the door, so we did. I wanted to tell the Laundries that our goal is to find Brian and bring him in alive. Right, and that angle of let's get Laundrie alive was something that he stressed over and over, repeatedly implying that an encounter with law enforcement could end differently. And it seems like Dog's self-inclusion in this manhunt has now drawn even more headlines and attention to Gabby Petito's case after her body was found last week and an autopsy confirmed that her death was due to a homicide. Right, and with all that, Laundrie's been missing for almost 2 weeks now. His parents claim that he went for a hike in the Carlton Reserve. However, there are tips Dog wants to follow up on, claiming that Laundrie was possibly at the Fort DeSoto campgrounds instead. Right, allegedly, Laundrie's family had camped there for a few days starting September 6th, which is backed up by park records. But police have already rejected that tip, saying that there are no reported sightings of anyone resembling Laundrie in the area. So, you know, with all of that, there's been a lot of debate about his involvement. Some saying his actions is very helpful, others saying that he's making it about him. Some kind of in the middle, thinking that maybe this is somewhat problematic. Right, Dog's been speaking with the media a lot. A number of people saying, isn't he just possibly tipping off Brian Laundrie if he's still out there? But, I mean, beyond that alleged tip, we know little more about what progress has been made in finding Laundrie. Right, with all that, Petito's parents also not releasing any new information, but have still held press conferences promising that justice will be brought. In fact, during one such press conference today, her family emphasized that this kind of attention shouldn't just be reserved for their daughter, with her father saying,
I want to ask everyone to help all of the people that are missing and need help. And like I said before, it's on all of you, everyone that's in this room, to do that. And if you don't do that for other people that are missing, that's a shame. Because it's not just Gabby that deserves that.
With that messaging coming after the family announced the Gabby Petito Foundation on Saturday in a tweet that read, no one should have to find their child on their own. We are creating this foundation to give resources and guidance on bringing their children home. We are looking to help people in similar situations as Gabby. And according to the family attorney, the foundation is still working out details on what types of missing person cases will be targeted, and adding today, Gabby's family does not want that light to dim. They want to make some good from this awful tragedy. And so there's that aspect of the story. Still the question of where is Brian Laundrie? What, if any, involvement did the parents have? And finally, I'd really love to know your thoughts on Dog the Bounty Hunter's involvement here. Like, when I've asked friends, family, just people I know, it's like 50-50 split. Or some seeing this as very helpful, others seeing as a kind of just noise and maybe an issue. So yeah, where do you stand on this right now and why? Then, shifting gears to other news, we should definitely talk about this TikTok market manipulation scandal, all of it kind of aiming at companies like Zillow. There's a lot of debate happening with this story, people firing shots at one another. And so the story actually starts a couple of weeks ago when a Las Vegas real estate agent by the name of Sean posted this TikTok.
What if there was a company that everybody knew of to look for houses? And so that company, they just sit back and they just collect all the data. They just know what zip code is looking at what zip code and how much those people can afford. Let's say that billion-dollar company uses that information to go into that zip code and start purchasing houses. Because the people that are selling their houses, even though they sell it for a little bit less sometimes than what the home could actually be worth, and they pay these high fees to this billion-dollar company, it's a convenience factor. So this company's scooping up houses less than what they actually could cost. And let's say that company, excuse me, Canute, that company buys 30 homes within a 2-mile radius. And let's say the price is $300,000. So they buy all of these homes for $300,000. And then on the 31st home, they buy it for $340,000. Well, what that just did is create a new comp. So when they go to sell these other 30 homes, that extra $40,000 that you could say this one sold for $340,000 just made them $1.2 million.
So he's mentioned a lot of math there. Lindsay, if you're watching, the main thing you need to understand. Sean seems to be insinuating that some unnamed real estate company, wink wink, is engaging in market manipulation by driving up the price of homes. And so that quickly led to users speculating that he was talking about Zillow, especially since the size and business structure of the company matches the profile of the unnamed company. Though with this, you also had others accusing companies like Redfin and Opendoor. But right as of this morning, that video alone racked up around 3 million views. In fact, blowing up so much the conversation.
I even heard a little bit about
media as well
possibly
as
Zillow being
in the CEO of
behind
Redfin responding, saying where Redfin's concerned, this is untrue. We would rather sell the home without owning it. We'd never intentionally underpay or overpay for a home. It's madness to overpay for a single home in order to set a high watermark for other sales. With Redfin CEO also saying the company simply doesn't sell enough homes nationwide to be able to control the market. We've also now seen Zillow responding, telling Yahoo Finance in a piece published yesterday that the video is full of misinformation and falsehoods, adding our goal is to buy at market rate, then sell quickly at market rate, saying the business model is designed to generate our profit margins from the convenience fees we charge sellers, typically around 5%. And adding, because our margins are so thin, it's critical that we price a home accurately. If we overpay, we'll lose money on the resale. If we make too low of an offer, homeowners won't use us. And what's funny with all of this is, even if it's not happening, because of this story, you had a Bloomberg reporter calling the market manipulation theory possibly brilliant, even though they noted that it's probably not the case, saying a much more likely explanation is that Zillow sometimes overpays for homes because the market has been really hot, and at times prices in certain markets have been moving so fast that it's hard to know what a property is worth. However, with all this, we've now seen Sean responding, calling the media's reporting of this manipulative, stressing the hypothetical nature of his original TikTok. But also with that, we've seen people like YouTube's own Kevin Paprath calling Sean's video, quote, nonsense conspiracy, and saying that it's laughable, it's a joke. Also noting that like Redfin, Zillow sells too few houses to manipulate market prices, and that in the first half of this year, Zillow actually lost money flipping houses.
If they were really scamming people right now in terms of fixing prices in the market for a profit, they'd probably actually be profitable in this portion of their business. But they're not, because margins in flipping real estate, especially for a corporation, are notoriously low.
Yeah, ultimately, for now, that is where we are with this story. It's a very interesting one for a number of reasons. One, just because I think what's been happening with the housing market's been very weird and crazy and very interesting to watch. And also, two, it's already kind of become the case, but I think even more so. I think we're going to see things like this happening all the time, where there's like a TikTok that goes viral and it becomes national news. Whatever's going on with her algorithm, it genuinely feels like anyone could blow up at any time, which, depending on the content, could be a very good thing or a very bad thing. Yeah, like with everything I talk about on the show, I'd love to know your thoughts on those comments.
It's the Wild Wild West on TikTok, man.
We had Netflix releasing some lists and numbers, showcasing their top films and series.
And it's another platform where I'll probably get lost in the shuffle.
The film Extraction, I mean, that almost broke 100 million. They also released numbers for like millions of hours watched in the first 28 days, but really the standout here to me, Netflix has got to be over the fucking moon that their foreign language content is doing so incredibly well everywhere. Their top list, including multiple seasons of Money Heist, Lupin Part 1, absolutely dominant. While it was too new to be on the list, Squid Game is also a massive hit, which, side note, if you didn't understand yesterday's intro, it was a reference to Squid Game. It's a South Korean thriller. I cannot recommend it enough. It is messed up and amazing. While there's no data yet because it's so new, reportedly it's on track to become the most popular series on the platform. And at the very least, you have the co-CEO of Netflix, Ten Sarandos, saying that it is the platform's biggest non-English language show worldwide. And the massive success we're seeing with some of these international shows, it just means more and more content, new directors, new visions, and
I do keep hearing about Squid Game. In fact, my roommates are watching it right now.
Squarespace. Over the past year, I know a lot of you have found your passion projects and what truly makes you happy. Whether that means finally getting your independent business off the ground, or creating a place to share your homemade goods, new favorite hobby, current obsession, or maybe even just a personal blog to get all those thoughts out of your head. Whatever it is, Squarespace.
Sorry, Phil. I'm going to use this ad read for a moment to go grab some things for us to play later.
Squarespace's all-in platform has never been so simple. It's extremely intuitive and easy to use. Plus, with Squarespace, you get access to all their marketing tools, their analytics, and personalized support from their award-winning customer care team via email or live chat. Whatever you need, they are available 24/7 to help out. So, if you want to check it out, see why so many others have loved it, see if it's right for you, start your free trial today over at squarespace.com/. When you realize you finally made the right decision, make sure you enter an offer code Phil to get 10% off your first purchase. And in probably a different kind of video game speed running news than you're used to, we had Activision Blizzard being hit with a lawsuit and then settling that lawsuit the same day. Right, for those who haven't seen, Activision Blizzard's been getting hit both socially and legally as of late, with this most recent lawsuit kind of hitting on the general notes where you have the U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission alleging that Activision Blizzard fostered a culture of sexual harassment and engaged in gender discrimination against female employees. Right, and while this isn't their only lawsuit, where there were very similar claims being brought by the California Department of Fair Employment and Housing back in July, this latest lawsuit and settlement is actually a big deal for a number of reasons. One, like pretty much every big settlement that we've talked about as of late, Blizzard doesn't have to admit any wrongdoing. But also, two, at the same time, they're doing something that a number of people are considering is an acknowledgement that they did things wrong. And that's because if a federal judge approves this settlement, Blizzard's going to have to shell out $18 million to establish a fund to compensate and make amends to eligible claimants. Now, as far as who is eligible to be a claimant, employees who've worked domestically for Blizzard somewhere within the last 5 years, that's you. And as far as where Blizzard's going to get the money, this is essentially pocket change to them. Just this past quarter, the company brought in an operating income of $959 million. Still though, in addition to the money, Blizzard will now have to implement improved anti-harassment training, oversight by an independent consultant, regular reports to the federal government, explicit policies about the consumption of alcohol at company events, and the expansion of mental health support for employees. And of course, this in no way means that Blizzard's legal troubles are over overall. Right, like I mentioned earlier, you have the California lawsuit, and also you have this group of employees in an ongoing lawsuit over worker intimidation and union busting. And then we should definitely talk about the NBA, vaccines, and kind of just the general clusterfuck of the last 48 hours. It's the NBA and vaccines. It's been a major point of discussion for a while now. The topic's been dominating the news cycle. While the NBA said that 90% of its players are vaccinated, there's not a mandate for players, even though there is one for referees, as well as league and team staffers that work closely with the players. With numerous outlets reporting that although the league pushed for vaccines to be required, the players' union has refused because there's this small but very vocal minority that's basically set the agenda and railroad the conversation. And all of that is happening at the same time where there have been some outside efforts to ensure that players are vaccinated. For example, New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio imposed a rule requiring sports arenas to require all employees and guests 12 and up to prove that they've received at least one dose of the vaccine without religious or medical exemptions. A similar mandate also enacted in San Francisco, though players, staff, and attendees there are required to show that they are fully vaccinated. So as a result of these city mandates, unvaccinated players from the Knicks and Nets in New York and Golden State and San Francisco are banned from playing in their team's own 41 home games. And on top of that, this would hurt the players' wallets. Because with all this, you have the NBA saying that teams do not have to pay players for missed games. Right, so you're talking about massive losses for major stars that bring in tens of millions of dollars each season. Right, and so all of that then came to a head yesterday because yesterday was the NBA Media Day. Right, there were a lot of different viral clips, a lot of different takes and kind of opinions. Right, you got a viral clip of Kyrie Irving. He has a 4-year deal, $136 million contract with the Nets, refusing to answer 4 different questions about his vaccination status.
I would like to keep all that private. Please just respect my privacy. Like all the questions kind of leading into what's happening, you know, just please, everything will be released at a due date. And once we get this cleared up.
But with that, people noting that Kyrie's silence, also the fact that he wasn't there, that he zoomed in, that speaks volumes. With outlets reporting that he didn't do it in person because of the league's health protocols. But also you had places like the Rolling Stone saying that it's not really crazy to think that Kyrie's in this camp, noting that he's been known to support conspiracy theories in the past. He recently started following and liking Instagram posts from conspiracy theorists who claimed that secret societies are implanting vaccines in a plot to connect black people to a master computer for a plan of Satan. Right, and obviously Kyrie wasn't the only one. There were a number of other people that went kind of viral for their clips, some making less sense than others. But at the same time, there were also a ton of players who used their media days to promote vaccination and speak on the importance of protecting yourself and others. That including the likes of Portland Trail Blazers guard Damian Lillard, who talked about getting himself and his family vaccinated.
I have a lot of people in my family that I'm tight with and that I spend a lot of time around, and you know, I'm just not gonna put their health or their lives in danger because, you know, I want to hold a big research. I've had people in my family actually die, and people actually lose their lives to it. Like, I'm not, and it's a way for me to protect myself and the people that I love. I'm gonna do it. You know, it's pretty simple.
You also had others mocking fellow players who said they still need to do their own research after all this time, like Orlando Magic's Robin Lopez.
I'm still not sure the Milwaukee's actually won the championship. I didn't watch. I wasn't there. I didn't watch the game myself, so I guess I'll go off a basis of there's got to be some kind of proof. I'm going to do my own research and figure out if they won it.
And you also seem to have a large number of players like Steph Curry who just seem to hate this situation. Right, player after player being asked about their unvaccinated teammates, right, saying, hey, I've done my research, I'm vaccinated, but you know, we hope that he's with the team. Kind of don't want to throw that guy under the fucking bus because I'm supposed to play with him.
Yeah.
In general, like across all 3 groups, and obviously it's for different reasons, everyone's just like uncomfortable and exhausted and tired of everything. But also with this, you have big former players speaking out on it, people like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar Abdul-Jabbar, really taking a much stronger stance than active roster NBA, really going in hard on those who have spread skepticism and misinformation, arguing that their choices and more specifically their decisions to broadcast them go beyond protecting themselves and those around them, but also have a direct impact on public perception and hesitancy. And with that, arguing that the NBA should have a mask mandate, and took aim at Kyrie specifically in an interview last night.
He's hiding behind procedure here. Either you understand what's going on and you're going to do the right thing.
I like the
or you
line.
don't understand what's going on and
NBA
you're going to
legend.
continue to create all this confusion with your stance. I don't think that they are behaving like good teammates or good citizens. This is a war that we're involved in, and masks and vaccines, they are the weapons that we use to fight this war.
But I'm also publishing an article on his Substack yesterday, further elaborating on how it's really dangerous for people to keep pushing this "I need to do more research" narrative, especially this far into the pandemic and especially in black communities. Writing, athletes and other celebrities have a public platform to help alleviate this crisis and to save lives. To not take on that responsibility harms the sports and entertainment industries, the community, and the country. Those who claim they need to do more research are simply announcing they have done no research. And while obviously that's not going to be universal, that has been seen echoed by other prominent black voices. People like sports reporter Vincent Goodwill, who published an article yesterday titled "Stop Giving Vocal Minority of Anti-Vax NBA Players the Space to Be Loud and Wrong," writing, "And giving them the platform or giving them what they want, they have access to the greatest doctors in the world and will consult them for anything from the common cold to a torn up knee, but they have apparently discovered something all the world's greatest scientists have missed." And concluding there, the volume should be turned down on those yelling into the mic. Even if minds can't be changed, damage can be mitigated. But yeah, that is where the story ends for now, and I know that was a lot, but I would love to know your thoughts on really any aspect or all of it, or whether it be about the specific players, or if you think there should be a mandate or not. Also, regarding Kareem, or do you agree or disagree about his thought that the "I need to do more research" stuff is really just saying I'm not doing my research? Yes, no, maybe. So why not? I'd love to know your thoughts in those comments down below. And then
It's
finally,
probably
the last thing we should talk
true
about today
for
is
most
President
people
Biden and
that
Joint
they
Chiefs
really
of
just
Staff
haven't
Chairman
done
Mark
any
Milley. That's
research.
because today
but-
you had Milley, Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin, head of U.S. Central Command General Frank McKenzie testifying before Congress today. Well, there are definitely a number of headlines that will be coming out of this, some relating to Trump when he was still president. One of the biggest things was Afghanistan. That's because after the Afghanistan withdrawal last month, you had President Biden having an interview on ABC where he was asked,
So no one told, your military advisors did not tell you, no, we should just keep 2,500 troops. It's been a stable situation for the last several years. We can do that. We can continue to do that.
No, no one said that to me that I can recall.
Or Biden said there clearly, "No one said that to me that I can recall." But today, during testimony, with Milley and McKenzie saying that they agreed with recommendations that the U.S. should keep 2,500 troops in Afghanistan. And while they did dance somewhat around what they specifically said to Biden, they did make very clear that this was their stance and belief when they advised him. And that is absolutely massive news because, one, this is the top military brass directly contradicting the president. And also, two, this line of questioning led to Republican Senator Tom Cotton asking, why did Milley not resign after the withdrawal from Afghanistan?
As a senior military officer, resigning is a really serious thing, and it's a political act if I'm resigning in protest. My job is to provide advice. My statutory responsibility is to provide legal advice or best military advice to the president, and that's my legal requirement. That's what the law is. The president doesn't have to agree with that advice. He doesn't have to make those decisions just because we're generals. And it would be an incredible act of political defiance for a commissioned officer to just resign because my advice is not taken. This country doesn't want generals figuring out what orders we are going to accept and do or not. That's not our job. The principle of civilian control in the military is absolute. It's critical to this republic. In addition to that, just from a personal standpoint, you know, my dad didn't get a choice to resign at Iwo Jima, and those kids there at Abbey Gate, they don't get a choice to resign. And I'm not going to turn my back on them. I'm not going to resign. They can't resign, so I'm not going to resign. There's no way. If the orders are illegal, we're in a different place. But if the orders are legal from civilian authority, I intend to carry them out.
And ultimately, that is where this story and today's show ends.
Yay,
Hey, whether it be this last
politics, so
story or
fun.
anything else that stood out to you today, let me know what you're thinking in those comments down below. As
But
always, my name
gotta
is
stay
Philip
informed,
DeFranco.
you know.
You've
Gotta
just
know
been
what's
filled
going
in
on. I
Happy
don't have to
Faces,
agree
and
with
I'll see you
everything,
tomorrow.
and don't have to argue with people about it and junk. But still, just need to be informed about what's going on. You know, gotta be informed about what's going on. So, I'm pretty much gonna try and get set up for us to finally play Final Fantasy VII for the first time. So hopefully everything syncs up okay. What I'm gonna do is get the music here set. I'm gonna get this going.
내려오는 불빛 사이로 넘겨지는 그대 눈빛 내 흥얼거림에 한없이 빠져서 보내오는 달콤한 눈빛 열린 문 더불어 삶을 시들어와 안고선 그렇게 매일 바라만 보나요 눈을 마주치면 부르던 노래를 멈추고 다가가서 속삭이고 싶어져 Oh now I feel I love you Oh I love you Oh I like you
Let's see. Oh my goodness. Oh. Alright. So it seems like we're good. We got everything set. So we got everything updated for the stream, and we gonna start us some games, bruh. Wait, what's that? Hold on. Let me get my screen up. And now the notification is gone. What's the notification? Oh, Netflix just updated. I'm excited. Alright, hold on. We're gonna pause the music for just a little bit. Ooh, the music sounds like garbage for y'all. I gotta find a way to get the audio capture a lot better for you guys. Because this is just horrific. Cursor position, forget. In battle, forget. Static. Dynamic. Oh, rotating with the camera. No, it's okay. Keep it that way. Yeah, that's fine with me. That's fine with me. We'll see if we need to get rid of that later. Classic. The player-controlled character will attack and defend automatically. allowing you to focus on executing commands. The battle difficulty is the same as easy. So basically, it's kind of like the turn-based style instead of the action RPG style. If you want to enjoy the story without worrying about battles. Fully experience battles as well as the story. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. I'm not doing the hard mode, but I guess in hard mode does not open up until you beat the game. That's what I'm guessing. But I am excited to try this out. Let's see how this game is, huh? I like that to be different. How do I want to invert the X axis? I think I'm gonna do both right now. The setting can be changed at any time. That's interesting. It's not one that locks you into the difficulty. We're doing normal though. We already discussed this. Alright, Jazz Bar, you can come back. Well, let's at least do the opening. Oh, I have the music down so low though. Look at the boy. Dog Ear Records. Dang, I do kind of want to hear the music. This is... I can't go back. I regret my decision. But the music sounds like such garbage for you guys, which makes me want to just go ahead and drown it out with good sounding music. Nice and clear. Alright, so what I'm going to do then is I'm just not going to listen to the music that's playing for you guys. Yeah. Yosh. Oh no, not the flowers. Oh. Dang, these graphics are dang on pretty though. Look at that. That's pretty. Now imagine if I had a PS5. Bruh. It'd be looking like it's like dang on magic. And magic ain't even real. Yeah, I said it. Snap. Here comes the soldier. Cloud. Mako reactor or Mako reactor? I guess we'll find out how it's said, huh? He's down. Nice.
Get down here, murder.
Can I talk to him? No.
Halt! Who goes there?
My name is Cloud.
You're up.
So, square is my attack button. Ooh, run the jewels. I like how it shows a whole video of the attack. And then hold it to unleash an attack capable of hitting multiple enemies nearby.
You're coming with us. Nice and easy. Don't think so. Not bad. Yeah!
Pretty easy. Level 7? What happened to 2, 3, what happened to 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 6? All of a sudden. I get it. Because it's Final Fantasy 7. So since I only have one, I already have some items. I got 6 potions and ether. So if there's no one to attack, when I hold square, it doesn't do anything. Oh, yep. I definitely need to reverse. So I just need to have the... I can't go to options. So I just need to reverse the y-axis. I was wrong earlier. I had to adjust.
Who in the hell? Hands where I can see them.
Have fun.
Bye, Jesse. You're pretty cute. The ATB gauge feels as time passes. And by attacking with square. Haha. NX. Once the bar is full, your character can perform special actions. Charges can be used immediately or saved. Try attacking the enemy to fill the gauge.
Freeze! Move and we shoot! Go ahead.
You can Spend ATB gauge charges to perform battle commands such as using abilities, magic, or items. Press X to try using one of the commands. Just another page. Oh, it's just the first part. I got some. So they do keep moving, but you do get time. Let's see, jump into the air and strike your foe with a powerful attack. Lunge towards the enemy, piercing strike that hits multiple times, significantly increase the stagger. Oh, and I have to...
Not bad.
Old school Eminem, bro. I love this song. I don't care how ridiculous it is. Alright, main menu and map. When not in battle, you can check the map, open menus, and view various kinds of information. And then I can use the touchpad to access the map. And then when I can't tell what that symbol is, move your character to it to automatically jump, crouch, or perform whatever action is required. So all I have to do is move to it. Interesting little radar thing on the top here. Leave I have one of those 25 stickers on my refrigerator. Darth Vader and Darth was a good on for later. Because of the way that him and Lex Luthor, I learned Superman, I killed Superman, and how ironic that I be the bad guy, Kryptonite, the Green Chronic, cause I ain't got no legs. Okay, so I have some kind of like a Kingdom Hearts, some quick, a quick access thing to the abilities. So that's pretty cool. And then limit break is cross slash. Cool. Sinbad. The born hands. Which isn't as bad, which isn't true. Door and after. Which can I just like mark as red though? Rule medals. I'm not gonna go through all of this with you guys. I'll go through that later. But can I save from here? I really can just save from right here. So there's no particular save points, it seems. Interesting. System. Option. Camera. Is what I need to look at. That's what if. There's an accident. Horizontal. Put that back to normal. Means, but as a female, but is that gay? I just wanna clear things up with a manly shot because I ain't got no legs or no brain. Let's do our first save, guys. There we go. We made our first save. And now it's time to say goodbye. That's it. We're only doing that. I'm joking. I just did this. What am I gonna go to my good senses? Probably the day Bush comes to my defenses.
Drop the weapon! You got this. Yeah, what he said.
It's interesting that they're going ahead of me, but I'm the one that's still having to fight them. You can defend against enemy attacks by pressing R to guard or circle to evade. That's gonna be interesting, cause like when playing Kingdom Hearts, I would guard or evade with square. not circle. So it's gonna take some getting used to. And then even evade is R1 when playing near. And yeah, everything's just different, and I'll have to get used to it. But we'll get there.
You're coming with us!
Can't get surrounded. Try harder.
So it does still hurt, it just lessens the damage.
That's that.
Oh.
It's over.
I guess I should have tried evading.
Was never in doubt.
But I didn't evade a single time. And then what happens to my health? Does this just stay that way? Oops, my bad. I did. Lupe Fiasco, baby. But yeah, I should. Oh, that's the command. Yeah, my health is still down. So I keep that for a little bit. Opening chests and doors, or talk to people. If you see the word hold, then you just need to hold it down. What's in the box? Potions, and I got 8 of them. I guess I should see. I can't check out the items from here. Or I can. 350. That's what I wanted to check, is how much. How much HP it gives me back. Oh, I can just hit triangle to go to the save. That's useful to know. Okay. Oh yeah. This feels so much better than the camera. Find boxes with the Shinra logo. Smash them, they contain useful items. You mean like these? Amugo metal. Another Amugo metal.
So what's Soldier Boy's deal? Is he one of us now?
Soldier
He's
Boy?
got balls, this, what was his name again?
Cloud Strife.
Right.
And he isn't a soldier anymore. Still, he's a professional, unlike the rest of us. I'm glad to have him.
This is a one-time gig.
Is it?
When it's done, we're done.
Is that
Real joy to work with, though.
Real joy to look at, too.
Here we go.
Looks are what people notice first.
People?
Hey.
I'd say you're not even reading the same book.
You'll keep us safe. You're done here.
Right? Or even the same...
Give it a rest.
I like your little banter while you're figuring out this door. Alright, I guess I'll go talk to Barrett then.
Come on, nobody do something this crazy just for money. They may not think you're a true believer, but you know what I think?
Not interested.
What?
Wedge.
What you got to say, Barrett?
You better be worth the money, Merc. Every last gill.
Every last gill. I could be buried. You wanna know why? Because I know how to sound like a big black burner man. Uh-oh. This totally does not fit the vibe that we're in right now. But I do not care, because it's Luna. I want to go on here. Of course they won't let me do that. Uh-oh. Press R3 to lock onto a specific target, and then R3 again to unlock. Excuse me. While locked onto a target, you can use the R or the D-pad to select between multiple targets. I already figured out how to switch targets, but locking on is going to be important.
Get him, boy! Guess you're first.
Yes, you are. There we go.
Hey! Looks like you're next. Nothing to it.
Boom. I got to use my quick access mode. I got to knock over some cones. Who cares about it? And I got to use both abilities. So I guess I'm going up.
Hey, Cloud! Elevator's over there! Catch up soon!
Follow Barry. Even a Wedge is the one who's been the nicest so far. Sounds like they're having fun. I guess I just got it open. Oh, they just
This way.
He does not like bending, huh?
Huh. Not so fast. We've got company.
Dang it. More dogs.
Job's a job.
I went through all
Here it comes.
Yeah.
Was never in doubt.
Alright, I think it's about time I actually use this potion now. Oh, let me use my quick access thing. I can't use quick access if I'm not in battle. Alright. Boom. Healed up a little bit. Let me open these up. Hey. Good old Childish. I haven't heard this song in a long time. Dirty D. Please.
There's one! Get him!
Enough. Nothing to it.
Weren't there more of those people? And there's no jumping, right? Yeah. Oh, I can actually toggle the mini-map on here, and then it shows me the thing differently. Interesting. Oh, it even toggles that too. Interesting. Come on. Come on. Thank you. Oh, have to hold.
See you later.
Come on, Cloud.
So I guess I
Got
go
the
this
bait.
way. Oh, so if I hold it down, I sprint. Hold down L3 to sprint. I'm gonna remember that.
Soldiers may attack on command, but I hear they make good guard dogs too. Bet you see a few reactors. So how do we get to the bridge above Mako storage?
So it's Mako.
Ain't holding out on me, are you? Stamp scared to bite the hand that fed him? Or is he a loyal little doggy?
Uh-oh.
Have it your way, Mud. We can do this with you, or we can do this without you.
Alright.
Different reactor, different layout. Depends when it was built. Never seen one like this, but I'll manage.
Saying I'm Super Saiyan like Goku. Sorry, y'all. You need to chill.
I'm watching you.
Did it just point out something for me to pick up? Or did I just imagine it?
Damn, I'm good.
I should have talked to Jesse.
Who's there? Door! Oh, wait! It's over!
That's my line.
Switching modes. Every character has a unique ability which they can activate. With Cloud's mode shift ability, you can switch between his balanced operator mode and his attack-oriented Punisher mode. Try it out now.
He's alone!
Punisher mode. He moves more slowly, but it releases a more powerful attack. He launches a counter blow each time he guards against a melee attack. He cannot guard against ranged attack or magic. Evade when you can and switch, or you will switch back to operator mode. Oh, when you evade such. When you evade, you switch back to operator. Okay. Interesting.
We can take him! Make it rain!
So long.
I gotta admit,
Then let's move.
I did a really good
He
job.
always knows
instead.
just what to say.
I did pretty good right there in that little moment.
Well, what are you waiting for?
It's a good thing I know someone who can get us the passcodes. Pity no one else at command will talk to us, but what can you do? And we're good.
And we're good.
Careful in there.
Do you now? Gotta do something over here? No, better not mess with the tech. I got another potion. What's in the box? A tuft of Phoenix down. Cool. Let's talk to Barrett.
Security is only gonna get tighter, so be ready. We can't afford any more
So
mistakes.
that's what the arrow is. The arrow was the text box. When I saw it earlier, that's what it was.
Looks like the elevator's on another floor. Mind pushing that button? So, you know Tifa, right? It's not really my business, but are you guys close?
Memories. Or are they really memories? Sorry, I know a little bit about the story, okay? I'm sorry.
Cloud! Are you ignoring me?
Tifa and I.
Really pretty eyes. Very, very nice, beautiful brown eyes. Biggs. What about Biggs though? And I like how Biggs and Wedge.
These sewer rats appear to call themselves Avalanche, sir.
Final Fantasy 15.
We are currently investigating whether they belong to the same group that made the attempt on your life. Rest assured, our inquiries will not take much longer.
It's interesting to see they even have.
This pump's sole purpose is to drain the planet dry. While you sleep, while you eat, while you shit, it's here sucking up Mako. It doesn't rest, and it doesn't care. You do realize what Mako is, don't you? Mako is the lifeblood of our world. The planet bleeds green like you and me bleed red. The hell you think's gonna happen when it's all gone, huh? Answer me! You gonna stand there and pretend you can't hear the planet crying out in pain? I know you can!
You really hear that?
You need to.
Damn straight I do!
Hey, bro.
Get help.
Huh? Say that again!
Get help. I'll say it.
I'd worry less about the planet and more about the next 5 seconds. Save the screaming for later.
Uh-oh. Am I about to get shot at?
Our lives are on the line now. You listening, Merc? One false move, and that happens.
Well, so much for having Cloud do all the fighting. There are some places a sword just can't reach. Just bear with him for me, would you?
Yeah.
Should have asked for more money.
Bear specializes in ranged attacks. Holding down square releases sustained burst of automatic fire when equipped with the ranged weapon. Yeah, I said that right. Bear can fire from safe locations and hit enemies that Cloud cannot reach with his sword. Yeah.
Gonna throw your sword at him? Let the man with the gun go to work. These tin cans ain't got nothing on me.
What are his abilities? Steel scanning. Temporarily reduce the damage taken and how easily you're interrupted. Focus shot consumes all ATB to unleash a concentrated.
Here it comes!
Overcharge. While in control of Barrett's deliver a heavy-hitting attack that fills a large portion of its ATB. Once unleashed, it takes a long time to recharge this attack. However, pressing triangle will speed up the process. Interesting.
Ooh, gotta love it. Now for the real show.
Not too bad. You can switch to different characters depending on the battle situation. You can also stick to the same character and issue orders to party allies. So up and down, left and right to switch characters, and then use R2 and L2 to issue commands.
Suck on this! Yeah! Hurry up! You're up! Do your job, Merc!
Shut up and move over. That was easy.
Mm-hmm. Sure it was.
Hi, Jesse.
Look what we have here.
The laser security system. Great.
Those things will hurt more than your pride if you're careless. They'll cut you down to size and then some. But I'm guessing you've done this kind of thing before.
Yeah. Figure out the timing of the lasers. Then, make a move when they cycle off.
Exactly. I'll go first. Nothing like a little danger to get the blood pumping.
Sounds like a really flawed system.
Just keep those baby blues of yours on me.
Oh, there's even a dash button. What's that? RT? What the heck is RT? I don't have a right trigger. R2. Or you can press it once to keep dashing until you stop moving. Barrett, what are you doing, bro? Stop hurting yourself. That's hurting me, technically.
Not too shabby.
This is one.
You're doing good, soldier. Okay. And it's more of the same. Come on, then.
Wah!
Are you okay?
I thought I had it, but
Pretty easy, right?
nothing over here. That was it. Boom. 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 Ooh. Dude.
Like a walk in the park, huh?
No,
Phew.
this is not.
Well, I'm glad that's over with.
Lasers in a
And we're
park.
almost at our objective. Look. They don't call those things sweepers for nothing. They can wipe out a whole squad in seconds.
Not if you wipe the floor with them first.
And that's when you just go over here first. Either. Alright. Let's go.
Ha! We can take this hunk of junk!
That hunk of junk is a heavy weapons platform. If we rush in, we die.
Is that right?
We need to hit it with magic. That should give us an opening.
Hitting enemies with certain attacks or dealing large amounts of damage will temporarily knock them off balance, and pressure will appear underneath their gauge. When this happens, help them with spells and abilities to quickly fill their stagger gauge. Once it is full, you can stagger them. The gauge fills faster depending on the abilities magic uses, as well as the foe's vulnerabilities. Find the most effective attack to finish it off quickly the enemy. Interesting.
Hey! Stop moving!
Let's pin it down. Give it all you've got.
What spells do I have? Oh, I have fire. Let's see what that does.
Burn.
Absolutely.
Of course. It just had to get back up.
So we knock it down again. No time to...
Alright, so enemies who have been staggered are defenseless and take more damage. Using unique abilities on a stagger will quickly boost your ATP gauge. Boost your ATP gauge to unleash more abilities and spells. Yeah, I got that part already.
Brace yourself.
quicker. Get
ready.
20-something?
First.
Huh?
Soldier first class. Doesn't go into the 20s.
You're an idiot.
I mean, goddamn rank? Though for all I know, a soldier's rank could be the same as his age. Mm-hmm. Guess that make you a 1-year-old, huh? Live and learn.
Anything over here? Anything over there? No. Okay, I guess we're just going forward.
That's our target, the reactor core. Gotta set the bomb at the bottom. Let's get down there.
Going down.
God damn. Practically taste Tamako in here.
Oh, that just
Hurry it up.
weird. Don't you know she's just a school? She's just a school student. She's still in high school.
It's pounding like a jackhammer.
I'm talking about Kill la Kill.
More like excited. I've been dreaming about this for years.
My bad. Wrong button. Another Phoenix down. Might become useful later.
Good luck.
What's over here?
Not that way. Down the ladder, dummy.
I just wanted to see what was over there. Let a brother be curious, okay?
It's on now.
Deal with that.
Yeah, I'll do it. See ya.
Ow.
Bring it.
I'm counting on
back.
you.
Take the lead.
About damn time. Woo, gotta love it. Suck it. See ya. Suck on this. Take your thing. You think if we fell in, we'd sink right down to the bottom? To the planet's core?
No. The pump side.
Slightly getting the hang of this here. I still feel a little clumsy, but we're getting there. There's the core.
Yeah, let's do this. Let's do this.
Something's gonna come out of there. I just know it.
All right, let's see if little Stamp really can bite the hand that feeds. Go on, do the honors. Prove to me you're the man Tifa says you are. That you're one of us.
Never said I was. I'm just here for the paycheck.
Then do the damn job.
Hey, 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 mother loving thing, jump up, rang. This boat goes so hard, dog. Uh-oh. Sephiroth.
What's wrong?
I'm fine. What about the timer?
Your call, Merc.
$30 minutes, cause I'm a slow brother. No, we'll go ahead and do 20.
Pretty cocky, ain't you? You double-crossing!
Heads up!
What in the hell? Hey, how the hell do we fight this thing?
It's got reinforced armor plating, but the Eternals can be overloaded. Lightning magic.
No other option, huh?
Ow, oh my gosh. Oh my goodness.
We barely scratched. Damn thing.
Didn't I tell you to use magic?
Thought you were full of shit.
Think whatever you want. Just do it. Right, let's do this. Gotta be careful.
Yeah, I know. I tried to dodge, but...
Okay. Hello, lightning magic? You even know how to use materia?
Of course I know how to use materia. What kind of stupid question is that? Quit rushing me. Hell yeah! You see the damage that did?
Keep it up.
Want some more? Damn it. Could keep going if I heal up. Coming at you hardcore. You think I care about a few cuts and bruises? Cause I don't. Bring in the heat. Come on! What the hell is that?
A barrier? Never seen this defense system before.
Thought you were the expert.
So what's your brilliant plan, genius?
It's my time to shine.
Or go down in flames.
All right, watch and learn. Why you gotta pick on me? Oh, good. Give them hell.
Don't overdo it.
Need my help, do you?
Yeah. I just...
We gonna let this thing keep pushing us around? I don't think so. It ain't done yet.
Some enemies will occasionally bind your party members with unblockable attacks if your character is bound and unable to quickly switch to a different character.
It didn't work! Got anything you want to say? Funny way to ask for help. If we don't change it up soon, this thing's gonna kill us both.
Less talking, more shooting.
How about less lip from you? Run! Stick you all on! Damn it! This thing is tough!
It wouldn't be much of a weapon if it went down easy.
Don't compliment the giant scorpion! Bring in the heat! Want some more? make your eyeballs. Come on, hit. Still, I'm putting an end to this shit.
Not this. I need Cloud. And I need more.
Here we go. Damn pain in the ass. Stay down, asshole. That thunder out here? Enough with all the barriers. Why you gotta pick on me? Not good enough. Asshole!
Uh-oh.
Get off! Don't just stand there. Help me out, damn it!
Taking over. There! Attack it from the rear.
Aye, soldier boy. Show me what you got. Right. Ain't no thing. Kiss my ass! Fuck on this! Want some more?
That's not fun.
Watch the tail. You don't want to be hit by that laser.
Huh? So, what do we do?
Don't get hit. Take cover behind that debris.
Well,
just what I need.
I tried to move over there, but I was way too slow, so...
Wasn't much help anyway. Strike now, before it fires again. No holding back. Gotta heal up. Here it comes. Take the lead.
Bring in the heat.
Whatever.
Gonna make your eyeballs. You can keep going.
Don't overdo it.
If I heal up. Hurry up! I ain't going down fighting a goddamn scorpion. Time to fry! Hey, it's doing that thing again!
Find cover and hunker down.
Again and again and again. It's wide open. Gonna light it up. I'm still kicking. A little bit here. Sure could use a break.
Alright. Yes, it fills the limit gauge. When the gauge is full, you can use limit brakes, which are extremely powerful, so you don't need to spin.
I live for this shit right here. You're up.
Let's do this.
Getting tired of that laser.
Next, don't get tired or complain.
And you're getting tired of my complaining, huh?
Dang on it.
Now, go!
Good job, Barrett.
You okay? Now you're in. Damn it. You need to heal up soon.
And I just died.
Ain't you supposed to be a professional? Hey, you really gonna make me deal with this on my own? Quit napping and get your ass back up. So now. Let's turn this around. Give them hell.
Great. Not good. Patch yourself up.
Why can't I use an item?
It's wide open. Gonna light it up.
And of course, it swings. It's a dang on knife.
Oh, hell! What's it doing now?
An auto repair unit. Damn it. You gotta take it out quick or we're screwed.
Oh, I am way ahead of you, Murphy.
I won't give up. Gotta cover our attack just left. Hold out until you spot an opening. Gotta be careful. Gotta heal up when I have the chance.
And of course,
it's down. Rain hell on it.
Ain't gotta tell me twice.
Not good. Patch yourself up. All good. I won't give up.
Gotta love it.
There goes another. Now's our chance to do some real damage. It's on you.
About damn time. Time to fry. Hey, you still with me?
goodness gracious, that was way harder than it needed to be. I need to get good. Because I'm definitely not yet.
Shit, the bomb!
20 minutes until detonation.
You hear that? Damn thing showed you how it's done.
Come on, we've got to move.
Where should be covering our way out? Go, go, go!
Concentrate.
I had to do that. That's kind of weird.
Enough. Not bad.
Oh no, not her leg. I like how it pauses for me.
You okay?
Do I look okay? Help a girl out, would you? My hero!
Hey! We'll link up over there! Look after Jesse!
Jesse has joined the party.
Come this way! This route should lead us straight to Barrett. Probably. I think I see it.
Come on. Oh my gosh, controls. What are you doing?
Don't look back! Let's go, let's go, let's go! We're running out of time!
Shut up and climb. You're not helping.
Sorry, it keeps me focused. I'll freak out if I don't talk.
Have it your way.
Barrett!
I've got you covered! Find us the way out of here!
But then...
Don't worry, I'll be fine. I've got Soldier Boy with me.
X, Soldier Boy.
They're here! Take them down! We don't have time for this shit! The clock's ticking!
Cool it. 5 seconds is all we need. That's it. Don't overdo it.
Need my help! Gotta love it! Get the hell out of here, ASAP! You got that right.
No escape. All right.
You don't look so good. Take care of those fools before you bleed out.
Take it from here.
And there it goes. I was just about to heal him too.
Back up the list!
Cool.
Golden opportunity right here. Catch you sleeping. Yeah! Here it comes! Suck on this! Want some more? Want some more? Special delivery! Here it comes! Keep pouring it on! Ooh, gotta love it!
Blasting out the those lasers.
Heads up! We got a whole lot of cover.
No shit.
Want some more? Come on, hit. Hey, did you see me in action?
Must have missed it.
Whoa! Hey, you're fighting. Please.
Try this.
Ooh, got it.
Let's do this. No time to celebrate. Don't get in my way.
Are you trying to start something? Huh? You don't look so good. Take care of those blades when you bleed out.
Let's do this.
And of course, it didn't do that.
Yeah, I'll do it.
That was easy.
Sure it was.
So I think
Sir.
So it didn't end up blowing it up, but they went ahead and blew it up?
Come on, come on, come on, come on!
Hey there, Jesse.
Doors open! We don't have a lot of time here. Pick up the pace, people!
Can you walk?
If I couldn't, believe me, you'd be the first to know.
I'll take that as a yes.
Okay, that was pretty cool. Alright, come on.
Still interesting how they led to its own destruction.
Looks like we made it. And with nothing but a few scratches to show. Think you might have overdone it?
I followed the instructions to the letter. Maybe it triggered a reaction with the Mako?
No.
Well, let's hope the city's still in one piece.
But the planet's what matters, right? I mean, this must have helped some.
After all that, it had better have. Anyway, let's get going. We in Sector 8?
That'd be just down there.
All right then, lead the way.
You got it. Watch out for live wires. They're everywhere.
Wow, so that was interesting. So I definitely got to be a whole lot more careful when I'm out here, bro. Cause I be getting hurt way too much and having to use way too many potions.
Ugh. The air in here reeks. Can't wait to get out in the open. Man, what is that? I've never smelled anything so foul. Oh, it's me. Gotta do something about that. And soon.
Well, dang.
I felt that one in my guts.
You just keep on coming.
We need to get out of this place.
Was it the Mako density? The primary explosive? The blasting agent?
Hey, you can figure that out later.
I'm running on empty here.
Ladies code.
You can refuel at the base.
Next time I'll have to bring a little pick-me-up. That's about as good a place as any.
Stand back then. I'll set the bomb.
Can't wait to see you, Marlene.
Can't wait to take a hot shower.
She's good to go. Fire in the hole!
You sure told those doors.
Let that be a lesson to anything that gets in my way.
Attention all citizens. Attention all citizens. This is an alert from the Shinra Emergency Operations Center. Unidentified intruders have detonated a bomb inside Mako Reactor 1. Multiple explosions have been confirmed, as well as ongoing firing. In response, a disaster warning has been issued in Sectors 1 and 8. Structures in the area are at high risk of collapse, rendering the entire sector hazardous. Therefore, all residents of Sector 8...
No way.
This couldn't have been us, could it?
But what if it was?
What's done is done.
Merc's right. It ain't pretty, but we can't stop now. This was just the first reactor, and the planet won't be safe till we get the rest.
Yeah, we always knew this was gonna get messy.
And this is only the beginning.
Y'all gotta look at the bigger picture here. Nothing worth fighting for was ever won without sacrifice. Though you may not be crying out, I know you're in pain, just like the planet. But it's okay, cause I'm here for you, to help take the load off your shoulders. your fears, your worries, your concerns, and yes, your fees. Whatever your problem, I got you.
So, what's our next move, boss?
That's easy enough. We get our asses home. We'll split up and shoot for the last train home. Regroup in the freight car. Got it?
Later then.
Hey, I'd like my money now.
You can have it once we're back at base.
Yoo-hoo! I don't need to tell you what this is, right?
Yes. Yes, you do.
Of course not. It's healing materia.
You can have it.
Thanks
for
for
saving
telling
my
me what
life.
it is.
Just doing my job. Nothing more.
Yeah. Fact is, I'm lucky you were there.
Survival can be a matter of luck or skill. And you can't rely on luck.
Words to live by.
Yeah, well, thanks.
You do know how to use it, right?
You do know what I was, right?
Begin the tutorial, please. The slots in the top row are for your weapon and the bottom for your armor.
Call it murder in the first, but what happened is art. You probably feel me more if you was trafficking hard. Who need universal acclaim when I'm collapsing the stars? Birdman hand rubs, palm covered in lamb's blood. Topeka, Kansas, the type of nigga you can't trust. Grown ass man.
The materia is now set. Allows new spells and abilities. Find a combination that works best. Cool.
But I know some heat holders that don't need paper planes to send you to meet Hova. I'm trying to rock the nation, drunk off a King Cobra. Smoke Malik Yoba, that means that I'm still sober. Quit the codeine, just bring me the peach soda. Smart money's on me, I'm calling the green Yoda. Mama down 10th Ave, ride for a brief distance. Seen cheap weaves slipping and fiends with their teeth missing at night. Might see
Can't say here though.
I tell you about the Central.
Security officer. You may alternatively
I was
contact
only trying to
security
help.
headquarters.
Oh, before I forget, here's a little something extra for being so brave. That really was the ride of a lifetime. Well, see you on the train.
High potions. And
Inside Mako Reactor 1. Multiple explosions have been confirmed, as well as ongoing fires. In response, a disaster warning issued. Sector 1 active. The area are at top. Immediate evacuation.
I got grenades.
Contact security headquarters. I repeat.
Well, I guess I'm not going that way. Stick going off, bro. Stick going off in this song.
Station's intact.
Huh? Uh-oh. Bringing back memories, is it? Ooh.
He couldn't be. But then... The hell?
There he is. Ooh, this song is super good, y'all. I like how he waited for me.
Wait.
I can't even like speed up the way I walk through here, man.
You're not real. You're dead.
I am.
Mm-hmm.
I killed you with my own...
Oh, you need not remind me. It was the crowning moment of our time together. But that was then, and this is now. I have a favor to ask.
Do you now?
Our beloved planet is dying. Slowly. Silently. Painfully. Can you bear to see the planet suffer? Cloud.
Mom.
This song is still
Were the planet to die,
in complete
so many
opposite mood
things
of
would
what's
be
happening
lost.
right now.
Your hometown burns so bright. The sound of her voice, pleading for me to spare you. The shiver of her flesh yielding to cold steel. That which binds us together would be no more, and I would be loath to live in such a world, which is why I must ask you this one favor. Don't worry, it's a simple thing.
What's the favor?
Run, Cloud. Run away. You have to leave. You have to live.
You bastard! Yeah!
Good, Cloud. Very good. Hold on to that hatred.
I'm seeing things. Fumes from all the Mako, maybe. Alright. You got this.
You
An
should have
evacuation order has been issued to the occupants of buildings in the vicinity of Sector 8 Expressway.
You go this way.
I'll never forget that noise.
The expressway have caused numerous ongoing fires. Many homes are at risk. An alert from the FFVII emergency operations. Buildings in the vicinity of the Sept. Explosions at the reactor have caused numerous ongoing fires. Many homes are at risk. It is not safe to remain indoors. Please leave your residences at once.
Oh, you stay together.
Isn't this backwards?
The explosions at the reactor have caused numerous ongoing fires. Many homes are at risk.
Guess I can't go down from here, so away from...
Not now.
Maybe it's a way around. Maybe.
This shit chestnut, we making boss moves. You can't be making cheap mistakes. You feel me? Remember that shit. Be careful, nigga, that's coming from and this the burden of proof.
Collapse. To think it would just collapse.
The area near the expressway is still extremely dangerous. Those in the vicinity are...
Huh?
Aaron!
You are too weak to save anyone. Not even yourself.
Are you okay? Hey, are you okay?
I like how she's...
I'm fine.
Here, this is for you.
Huh? A flower?
That's right. It's a gift. You know, for scaring those things away.
What things?
Never mind. Think of it as a memento.
Just my luck.
I heard that, you know.
How much?
Well, that depends on the customer. In your case, it's on the house.
Look at those pretty green eyes.
Lovers used to give these when they were reunited.
I got a yellow flower.
Look, I'm involved in things. Dangerous things.
Oh, I'm sure you are. So?
So keep your distance.
Wait, you think someone's out to get you? Is that what you're all worked up about?
Singing.
Relax. No one's going to attack you. I promise.
Hey, a Mako reactor just blew. You shouldn't be out here trying to sell...
Help me! What are they?
Drop your weapon!
Are you blind?
You know, you're right.
Wait!
Nice meeting you.
Sword on the ground! Right now!
Yeah, I don't think so.
Enough. That's that. It's over. Let's go.
There he is! You're not going anywhere!
This is Sector 8 Unit 4. We have eyes on the target. We need backup. I repeat, we're requesting immediate backup.
That it?
Where's these?
All clear.
Alert from the Shinra Emergency Operations Center.
That bastard couldn't have gotten far! Stay alert!
Don't want to stick around here.
Have caused numerous ongoing fires. It is not. From the Shinra Emergency Operations Center.
Just give it up! Don't run!
Box him in! Box him in! There's nowhere to run!
Try this. So long.
Eat this!
Enough. You're mine.
Target tight! I repeat!
That's that.
Target tight! Ready for immediate deployment!
Shit. Enough.
Troopers on standby!
I repeat. This is an alert from the Shinra Emergency Operations Center.
You are clear to engage! Be advised! Target is headed for the station!
That's enough! Repeat!
Let's draw!
Oh my god.
All good.
Get you in hell! You're surrounded! Lay down your weapon and surrender!
This might hurt!
Here it comes. No more fighting.
Take the height! Got me now!
Let's finish it. See ya.
Don't let him escape!
Give up! Ground forces engaging target as on all nearby units converge and provide immediate support!
Blockades have been erected throughout the area to avoid accidents.
Requesting immediate reinforcements at Mountain Plaza!
I repeat. This is an alert from the Shinra Emergency Operations Center. For the safety of Sector 8.
Time to burn.
Target still mobile! Support! Proceed to rally point at the station!
I repeat.
So much for the direct route.
This is an alert.
Find another way. Use the rooftops, maybe.
Over there!
Oh,
Open fire! Shoot to kill!
that hurts, you know.
Close call.
Be advised! Target approaching residential area! Seal all access immediately!
Target sighted! Get him!
It's all or nothing now.
got a feeling.
Blockades have been erected throughout the area. Call compartment officers instructions is advised. I repeat. This is an alert from the Shinra Emergency Operations Center. For the safety of sector results.
Don't underestimate him.
Back in it.
I'll show you.
Nothing to it.
I see him.
That's that. It's over. Let's go.
Confirmed. Target has entered residential area.
Do not venture outside for any reason. An announcement will be made when the lockdown has been lifted.
Moving to intercept.
Emergency Operations Center. Suspect in
Here it
reactor
comes.
1 bomb has been sighted.
Was
in the
never in
vicinity
doubt.
Of Fountain Plaza. A security lock.
Get the bastard!
Do not venture outside for any reason. An announcement will be made when the lockdown has been lifted.
You're mine! No way!
Residents are instructed to remain in town.
Come get me!
So long.
Back off!
It's over.
I'll show you. Grenade!
Enough.
Seeing how well my heal does.
He's here! Got you!
It's over. Here it comes.
You'll be dead soon.
Enemy combatant, you have been warned. Surrender yourself to public security immediately. You have nowhere to run.
Enough!
So, you want trouble? You're mine. Try this. Let's finish this. Nothing to it.
That'll be useful.
I'm gonna enjoy this.
Surrounded.
That's better.
You can't win. Shield front!
Enough.
Do your worst.
So long.
You got no chance.
No escape. Here it comes. I won't give up.
Do your worst.
When can I use the thing? Got it?
Back off. I'll break you. Think you're hot shit?
Yeah. That was actually pretty legit. Good job, boy.
Do your worst. You got no chance.
Won't last long. Still in it.
I'll break you.
Try this. That's it.
Pay for that. You got no chance.
I didn't do much to help me.
I'll break you. One more.
Sloppy. Going all out. All right, that's that.
Move in! Don't let him escape!
Well, that was...
HQ, this is Sector 8, Unit 2. Target is surrounded. Moving to secure.
Wait! I know that.
Uh-oh. I caught the train. That's all you need to know. Hey.
Guess Cloud won't be joining us after all.
No need to assume the worst. I'm sure he's fine. You saw him in action, didn't you? Guy's a soldier. Goddamn one-man army.
You think he's a keeper?
You had me worried for a minute.
I need my money.
What the hell you been up to, huh?
Giving public security the right around. That's what. Had to drive him away from the station somehow.
Nicely done.
Well, can't argue with results, huh? What?
Wait. Got a question for you all.
What?
Ever been attacked by an invisible enemy?
What?
Wearing robes. Came and went like the wind.
Thought they were invisible.
They were, at first. Only saw them after she grabbed me.
A new Shinra weapon, maybe?
More like a panic-induced hallucination.
It's the most
Never mind.
practical thing to think.
Forget I said anything.
Suit yourself. Come on, let's move up.
A lot of people here.
And in the freight car, too.
Because of the evacuation order, maybe?
Lucky us. We've got a crowd to hide in. Head for the front of the train and hold there.
Mutual explosion at Mako Reactor
As soon
1.
as we reach
An
the
emergency
bases,
schedule is now in
actually
effect.
dip. So,
Your understanding and cooperation is appreciated.
just know that. We're planning on ending soon. Sorry.
Will her house still be there?
Just called in sick.
Leave me alone.
You're, holding up pretty well, huh? Even after what we saw at the station and all over Sector 8?
I'm a soldier.
Wow. My hands are still shaking.
You get used to it.
Something to look forward to. Or maybe not.
You see, my daughter now lives in Sector 8, so
I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
Little help, Cloud? Please?
I'm
I can't stop thinking about it. The bomb I made shouldn't have produced an explosion that big. It doesn't make any sense.
The explosion triggered a reaction with the Mako. You said so yourself.
That was my first guess, but shouldn't the reactor have fail-safes to prevent that kind of thing?
That is correct.
You mentioned invisible enemies back there, right?
Right.
No. I'm just looking for excuses for something that was clearly my own fault.
I mean, it wasn't, but you know what?
Gotta own up to it if I'm gonna learn from this and move on. Thanks, Cloud.
Yay for
You're a
dramatic
good listener.
irony. We know the truth. They don't.
what kind of maniacs would go so far as to bomb a reactor?
They've yet to announce it publicly, but I heard it was Avalanche's doing.
Really? Aren't they the terrorists who tried to kill the president?
Is there nothing they won't do? Hey, quit talking out your ass. Everyone knows Avalanche only cares about saving the planet.
Just who do you think you are?
A law-abiding, concerned citizen.
Law-abiding? Really?
Shh. I'm antagonizing. In my humble opinion, that explosion was a message. A message to the bastards bleeding our planet dry. Think they got it? Heard it loud and clear? Y'all's masters?
We will not submit to intimidation or violence, but work together for peace and prosperity.
Yeah?
That is how civilized people change the world.
That's right.
That is the Shinra Creed. Them's fighting words.
It's what we believe. We all have to follow our conscience, don't we?
We should go.
Right.
Bro, you're not making us brothers look good. I'm just saying. I can move now, right?
How much longer to the station?
This train is slower than molasses, am I right?
You hear that, suit? Shinra Creed my ass. We're the good guys, damn it. You hear that, suit? Shinra Creed my ass.
Alright, so I guess that's it. Jessie made her way in front of me somehow.
Let's get this out of the way. Personally, I find visual aids make the dull stuff a lot more bearable. If it helps, think of it as an initiation rite.
How many times do I have to tell you people? I'm not...
There's such a thing as playing too hard to get. So, here we've got a wireframe model of the great city of Midgar, complete with massive steel plates suspended 300 meters above ground level, atop which stands a shining beacon of civilization. The whole system is sustained by the Mako reactors, which feed the insatiable appetites of the public.
The train will be passing through an ID checkpoint shortly.
This here is the train's route. As you can see, it'll take us around this main pillar. Look, we're about halfway through it now. They've set up a checkpoint here to scan the IDs of all passengers heading in and out. Date of birth, residential status, criminal history, all that and more is automatically cross-referenced in their databases. Public security wouldn't have it any other way. Heads up. Don't worry, our IDs are impeccable. What'd I tell ya? Have a little faith. Won't be long till we reach the bottom. Relax.
Take a good look. It's because of that great big pizza in the sky that people down there gotta struggle to survive. Shinra sucks up Mako while the soil turns to dust, the air fills with smog, and the flowers die.
Then leave and don't look back. That's what's always worked for me.
Well, that's all well and good, if you're only out for yourself. But the folks down there don't have the luxury of choice, you know?
Yeah, what he said.
Like this train, I suppose. There's only one way it can go.
Yay! Another story-driven trophy.
Oh, you guys!
That's great.
Daddy!
Oh, sweetheart.
I'm glad you're home.
Don't worry, I'm fine.
Oh, goodness.
Knew it couldn't be that bad. No way.
Hot damn, we are good!
Yes! Bombs detonated 1, members lost 0. And one step closer to a brighter future.
Hell yeah!
Guys! Lower your voices, huh? People are listening.
Oh,
right.
Now get some R&R. You've earned it. Just be ready for the next mission, all right?
Resistance.
See you soon. At Seventh Heaven. You know, where Tifa works. Don't keep her waiting. She'll worry.
Return to base. What I should have done is actually overridden this one.
Not long now.
How about what?
Office still there?
Of course not.
I'm going on a ghost hunt. Come on out!
Talk about this.
Sector 8 was a nightmare. Fires everywhere.
Huh. Mako is the lifeblood of the planet? Yeah, the hell it is. Goddamn eco-warriors with their dumbass posters. I tear them down and they're back up inside of an hour. Like I've got nothing better to do. I mean, look at all that steel work. You trying to tell me that's not progress? What the? You okay, buddy?
You good, bro?
Mako junkie, huh? Figures.
You again.
That hot shower can't come soon enough. I can barely tell my skin from all the ash and sweat. When I get back...
Warning. Gate broken. Fiends in area. Exercise caution. No reason to check it out. Not my problem.
Sector 7 slows. Seventh Heaven. Seventh Heaven.
Oh.
My bad. That was my
What
bad.
the? That's where I work. No freaking way.
What do you know? That ain't it.
And there's Tifa.
Arlene.
Daddy, you're home!
That's right, Angel. I am. Have you been a good girl?
Yeah, I've been helping Tifa.
Oh, you did you? Well, well.
You made it. Where'd you get that? I can't remember the last time I saw a real one. Huh? How sweet. When did you get so thoughtful?
Guy can change. Has been 5 years.
Huh?
I need to talk to Barrett.
Right. Come on in.
Daddy, the Mako place blew up. Everyone on TV's talking about it.
Don't you worry about all that silliness. Daddy's here and he's not going anywhere tonight. Now turn that thing off and let's get you to bed, huh?
Alright, and this is where we end. Get that junk out of here. we got one too many slots right now. I just wanted to do 2, but no, that's what it is. But yeah, guys, that was it. We end with dreams come true, you know? Hopefully it was an enjoyable time for you all, and it was fun to finally start this game. I'm looking forward to being able to continue. It's gonna be great. It's going to be great. And Thursday, planning on continuing where we left off here. So we're gonna find out what stuff we can still remember with our relationship with Tifa and whatever next mission Avalanche has. But yeah, until next time, you guys, much love, peace.